I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I'm James Brown, and on behalf of the East End Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to Tuesday's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, if you have a Bible with you, please turn to the book of Genesis, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Dieselkamp for our study of the day.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the 67th lesson in our study of Genesis. Yesterday we covered Genesis chapter 21, verses 1 to 7, discussing the birth of Isaac. If you missed that episode and would like to watch it, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on our website at www.eastendchurch.org. You can also find them on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/eastendchurchofchrist under the Walking Through the Bible Genesis playlist. Today we're going to begin with Genesis chapter 21, verse 8, and read through verse 21. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the English Standard Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So let's now read Genesis 21, beginning at verse 8. And the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast on the day that Isaac was weaned. But Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, whom she had borne to Abraham, laughing. So she said to Abraham, Cast out this slave woman with her son, for the son of this slave woman shall not be heir with my son Isaac. And the thing was very displeasing to Abraham on account of his son. But God said to Abraham, Be not displeased because of the boy and because of your slave woman. Whatever Sarah says to you, do as she tells you, for through Isaac shall your offspring be named. And I will make a nation of the son of the slave woman also, because he is your offspring. So Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water and gave it to Hagar, putting it on her shoulder along with the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. When the water in the skin was gone, she put the child under one of the bushes. Then she went and sat down opposite him a good way off, about a distance of a bowshot, for she said, Let me not look on the death of the child. And as she sat opposite him, she lifted up her voice and wept. And God heard the voice of the boy, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, What troubles you, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the boy where he is. Up, lift up the boy and hold him fast with your hand, for I will make him into a great nation. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink. And God was with the boy, and he grew up. He lived in the wilderness and became an expert with the bow. He lived in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Egypt. A period of 1 to 2 years has passed between verses 1 to 7, and the narrative that continues on in verse 8. Isaac is no longer a newborn, but has grown and has now been weaned. On the day that Isaac was weaned, Abraham threw a party to celebrate. At the party, Sarah saw Ishmael, Abraham's son, via Hagar, mocking, and naturally that made her angry. She was so angry that she demanded that Abraham cast him and Hagar out of the house, so that there would be no dispute as to who the heir of Abraham would be. Of course, this displeased Abraham, for Ishmael, even though he wasn't the son of promise, he still was Abraham's son. In fact, Ishmael was Abraham's firstborn son. God, however, told Abraham to listen to the voice of his wife, for Isaac would be the seed of promise. However, God reiterated that Ishmael would not be forgotten, but a great nation would come from him too. So the next day Abraham prepared some bread and water and sent Hagar and Ishmael away, with Ishmael at that time being about 16 years old. We do, however, learn an important lesson here that many characters in the Old Testament failed to learn. God intended that marriage would be between one man and one woman for life, according to Genesis 2:24. Abraham at this point had Sarah his wife and Hagar his concubine, and both of them had children. There was rivalry between Sarah and Hagar, all of which caused strife within the family. Jacob, Abraham's grandson, will have 4 wives, and his family would only really compete with King David's family for which one was the most dysfunctional. When we follow God's plan, our lives tend to run smoother because God has our best interests in mind. However, when we deviate from God's plan, let's not be shocked when problems arise. Hagar and Ishmael wander around in the wilderness south of Beersheba in the southern part of Canaan, and then in the wilderness of Paran, thought to be on the western coast of what is today Saudi Arabia. They almost died in the wilderness, but God was with them and provided them water. Ishmael grew up to be an expert archer and would later marry an Egyptian. We'll meet Ishmael again in chapter 25, and it is there we'll see just how much his family has grown. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we will continue our study of Genesis, beginning with Genesis 21:22.
Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below or email us at answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you'll join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we'll be continuing our study of the book of Genesis. Goodbye for now and have a great day.
I'm not ashamed to own my Lord.